Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the Baseball Diamond here on the campus of Braintree High School in Braintree, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the hosting Womps of Braintree High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. We're running a little bit behind here. The umps were a little late to show up, but hey, better late than never. And if nothing else, folks, you guys know I always say appreciate your local officials in any sport here at the high school level. You know, they're getting paid peanuts to come out here and make sure these games can happen at all. And without them, the game literally does not happen. And today is a perfect example of that. So respect, you need them here for this game to happen. We're about to get this one started here between Brookline and Braintree. The Warriors coming into this one with a record of 4 wins and 9 losses, riding high off that big 17-6 win against the Sharon Eagles on Saturday. They were ranked 38th in the most recent MIAA power rankings that came out on Friday. Braintree, meanwhile, a win-loss record of 7-3 and ranked 10th in the power rankings. Here we go, first pitch of the ball game, and that one's going to miss just inside ball 1. Leading off for Brookline today, playing left field, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald. Fouls that one off for strike 1. Fitzgerald, you can see his season stats on the bottom center of your screen right there. Slash line currently, batting average 195, on base 365, slugging 317, a team high 9 walks for Fitzgerald as he takes a low ball 2 there. Also has 2 steals, a team high 12 runs scored, and 3 RBI. Fouls that one off as we got a 2-2 count. Fitzgerald, one of several players for Brookline that had a big day on offense on Saturday, as he finished with 3 runs scored and 1 RBI in that one. Actually drove in the go-ahead run on a single up the middle. As he makes contact here, it's a slow dribbler over to second, charging in, picked up, throw, gets there in time for out number 1. Textbook move on the charge in there from second baseman Max DeRoche. Now batting for Brookline, the catcher, number 13, Felix Hom. First pitch going to miss, ball 1. Hom so far this season, a slash line of 295, 354, 364. Had an explosive day on Saturday with 3 doubles and 4 RBI. He had no extra base hits before Saturday's game, but now leads the team in 2-baggers with the 3 that he got on Saturday. Facing off against the starting hurler for Braintree, number 25, Luke Joyce. That one going to miss, low and away ball 2. Hom, one of a number of players who played in last year's game against Braintree. Brookline getting the win over the Womps, 4-2 in Brookline last year on May 8th. As that one misses to the outside, ball 3. In last year's game against Braintree, Hom was 0-for-3 with an RBI, as Brookline put together a 4-run 5th inning in that one to come back and win it. Hom hits a hard grounder and just left of the third base bag for a foul ball and a full count. Joyce, the lefty, gets his pitch. And Hom hits a dribbler up the third base line, and it goes foul once again, as we'll need a take 2 on that payoff pitch. One out, and the base is empty here. And that one skips in the dirt, and it's going to be ball 4 for Hom. That ball is skipping away all the way to the Braintree dugout as Hom, hustling up the bag like you should on that play. See if maybe he could take second, but chances were slim on that one. So a free pass to first for Felix Hom as his courtesy runner. Number 8, Max Kaufman, going to trot over to first. Stepping into the box for Brookline, the third baseman, number 2, Hugh Bollinger. Oh, we got a balk call. The rare balk call as Kaufman gets a free pass to second. So Brookline now being gifted a runner in scoring position here with just one out in the first inning. And the meat of their order coming up. We'll see if they can do anything with it. First pitch to Bollinger, and he's going to sky it deep out to left center. Left fielder on his horse chasing after it. It goes to the wall. Extra bases for Hugh Bollinger. Max Kaufman going to round third and head for the plate. Brookline will strike first off a powerful strike to left center from Hugh Bollinger. Wow, that one flew high and deep out there. I was wondering if maybe it would get out of here for Bollinger's second dinger of the season, but I think he'll settle for a nice RBI double there as Brookline takes the lead. Runner on second still as Thaddeus Gameau lines the first pitch he sees into left. Bollinger going to race around third and come to the plate. It's back-to-back RBI hits for Brookline as Thaddeus Gameau delivers. Big start to the inning for Brookline. Their offense picking up right where it left off against Sharon, attacking early and often here. Now at the plate, the shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DiPaolo, who also had himself an explosive game on Saturday with 2 runs scored and 4 RBI. As he hits a chopper over to third, fielded clean, thrown to second for 1. No time to go to first for the double play. It'll simply be a fielder's choice. So that will be the second out of the inning. And now coming to the plate, the right fielder, number 3, Eli Hoffman, as he takes strike 1. Hoffman had a hit, a run scored, and an RBI on Saturday. Big day for him as he also fought valiantly on the mound through the first 4 2/3. Ended up leaving with a no decision, but still a gutsy performance, despite some early fielding mistakes from Brookline. You can see Hoffman's slash line so far, 80 batting average and slugging percentage, 303 on-base percentage to go with 2 steals, 3 runs, and 2 RBI. 2-1 the count as Joyce, the lefty, makes a soft toss over to first to check on DiPaolo. He dives back safely. That one gonna miss for ball 3, 3-1. Hoffman, a good patient hitter. He doesn't have that on-base percentage over 300 for nothing. Last year against Braintree, Hoffman went 1 for 3 at the plate. He's now staring down a 3-1 count with 2 outs. Takes a swing, hits one towards the gap, and it skips off the body of the second baseman. DiPaolo rounding second. He's going to head for third. He might be caught down there, though. Oh, too aggressive on the base paths as he gets tagged out there. So Hoffman initially reaches on an E4, but then DiPaolo thrown out at third. And that will end the inning, but an explosive start for Brookline. A 1-out walk from Felix Hom, a balk to move his courtesy runner into scoring position. And then back-to-back first pitch swings from Hugh Bollinger and Thaddeus Gameau. to launch that one. And Brookline takes an early 2-0 lead. So now warming up for Brookline, their starting pitcher today, number 17, Nikolai Rabiner. Interesting to see him again, as we did see him come on in relief on Saturday. It wasn't a long outing, even though it was 2 1/3 innings of work, as he put down the Sharon hitters pretty quickly, getting 5 of his 7 outs via strikes. He was pretty dominant in that one, so Brookline might have been thinking, hey, against a Division II opponent, we put out our best guy, he'll mow him down quick, and then he'll still have some pitches in him for when we face a higher-ranked opponent to start the week. You can see his season stats on your screen. Rabiner with 6 previous pitching appearances, including Saturday, his first relief appearance, as the other 5 were all starts. A win-loss record of 2-4 as he picked up his second win with that relief appearance against Sharon. 27 1/3 innings pitched, an ERA of 3.59, a whip of 1.65, and 35 strikeouts. Now he steps onto the bump to take on the top of the Braintree order. Leading off for the Womps, the shortstop, number 3, Peter Brooks. I didn't cover last year's Braintree game, so I don't have any stats for them from last year's game, unfortunately. First pitch from Rabiner hits the zone for strike 1. And the next one just misses. 1-1. Rabiner quickly turning around to his next pitches, wasting no time here as breaking ball hangs high on him. Ball 2. And that breaking ball this time dips too much. Ball 3. That one misses just outside, and it's a lead-off walk for Braintree. Certainly not how Rabiner wanted to start the inning. No outs and a runner at first. Up comes the first baseman, number 8, Ryan Zolano. First pitch skips in the dirt for ball 1. Rabiner was throwing strikes very efficiently against Sharon, but sometimes you face a higher-ranked opponent, you get in your head a little too much, try and get a bit too fancy. That one, a fastball in the zone for strike 1. Brooks leading off from first. And that breaking ball is chased for strike 2. That's the thing, you start hitting your zone with your fastball, then you can start working in your breaking ball, and it all just kind of feeds into each other. That one going to miss outside, though. Ball 2. Zolano not biting on that one. And that one skipped in the dirt as Rabiner lost control of the fastball that time. A full count with no outs and a runner already on first. And a pickoff throw back to first. But Brooks gets back safe. Runner is going to go on the payoff pitch, but Zolano fouls it off. Brooks will be sent back to first, and we'll get a take 2 on the payoff pitch. Runner goes again, and it's fouled off again, right over our heads on the first base side bleachers. Zolano giving Rabiner a fight. The Braintree bats not letting him get through anything easily here. This time lifted out to right. Hoffman tracking it. He dropped it! Hoffman dropped it. Runner is going to stop at second, but an E9 puts runners at first and second. Boy, it's a bright, sunny day out here with no clouds, and Hoffman clearly lost track of that one just at the last second as it popped off his glove. We saw errors be a big problem for Brookline in the first inning against Sharon on Saturday as Rabiner turns around to check. They gave up 4 runs, none of them earned in that first inning before coming back and beating the Eagles. First baseman pulled in for a potential sacrifice bunt, but no bunt and no swing on the first pitch. It'll simply be strike one to the third baseman, number 16, Mike Ryan. Big swing and a miss, strike two. Braintree clearly has a lot of trust in the middle of their order, not going for a sacrifice bunt with runners at first and second and nobody out. They want their hitters in the meat of their order to be swinging away. And swinging away is Ryan, and he tips it into the glove as Rabiner gets a big 3-pitch strikeout to rebound. Now stepping up, the cleanup hitter and the pitcher for Braintree, number 25, Luke Joyce. Pitcher against pitcher here in a big situation with runners at first and second and 1 out. That one in the zone, strike one. And that one also in the zone. Rabiner really rebounding after he was struggling to find the zone against the first 2 batters. Throwing things pretty efficiently now. And this one fouled off down the left field side. It looks like it might have been a bit of a cut fastball there. Joyce still a little bit behind it as he goes opposite field on that foul ball. Still 0-2. And breaking ball sent up the middle, but a stab by DiPaolo. Tag second, throw to first. What a play by Jimmy DiPaolo to end the inning there. Boy, that one looks like it might be a potential RBI single. I almost lost track of that ball in the sun as it was bouncing through, but the one guy who didn't lose track of it was the Brookline shortstop and co-captain Jimmy DiPaolo as he turns that potential single up the middle into an inning-ending 6-3 double play. At the end of one, Brookline on top, 2-0. Now, during this time, I'd like to quickly go through the full lineups for the team since we started kind of close to the start due to the late arrival of the officials there. So I'd like to quickly give you the starting lineups. For Brookline, we saw in the top of the first, leading off the left fielder, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald, batting second, catcher, number 13, Felix Hom, batting third and playing third, number 2, Hugh Bollinger, batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 4, Thaddeus Gameau, batting fifth, the shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DiPaolo, batting sixth, the right fielder, number 3, Eli Hoffman. And now due up here, the last 3 hitters in the batting order, batting seventh, the center fielder, number 24, Wally Lawrence, batting 8th, the designated hitter, number 12, Harris Hodgson, and batting 9th, the second baseman, number 30, Danny Carballo. And, of course, starting on the mound for Brookline, number 17, Nikolai Rabiner. For Braintree, their batting order we saw in the bottom half of the first, leading off the shortstop, number 3, Peter Brooks, batting second, the first baseman, number 8, Ryan Zolano, batting third, the third baseman, number 16, Mike Ryan. Batting cleanup, the pitcher, number 25, Luke Joyce. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 9, John Segley. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 2, Max King. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 1, Max DeRoche. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 12, Aiden Zahn. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 4, Gavin Farragher. And just playing the field for Braintree, the catcher, number 7, Jake Hillard. Now batting for Brookline, the center fielder, number 24, Wally Lawrence. As that one's going to be high, and we've got a 1-1 count here. Lawrence so far this season, a slash line of 189, 286, 216. Tied for the team lead in steals with 5 after he got 2 steals on Saturday, taking second and then taking third. And he's also got 7 runs scored and 5 RBI on the season. 2-1 the count. Did Lawrence go around? Yes, he did. Strike 2 there. Brookline jumped on the board in the first inning off 2 big RBI hits from Bollinger and Gameau as Lawrence takes that breaking ball and lifts it out to left center for a base hit. Good timing from Lawrence. Joyce trying to mix up his speeds with the breaking ball there, but Lawrence jumped on it for a nice leadoff hit. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 12, Harris Hodgson. That first pitch misses to the outside, ball 1. Hodgson so far this season, a slash line of 176, 333, 176, as he just crossed 20 plate appearances on the season with the game against Sharon. Had a nice day there with 2 hits, as well as, I think, 1 run scored and 2 RBI. On the season, he's got 2 runs scored and 3 RBI, facing a 1-1 count as that one skips in the dirt, but well blocked by Hillard to keep it in front of him. Ball 2. Lawrence is a threat on the base paths, one of the faster players for Brookline, but with a lefty pitcher, he's also got to be careful about the potential of a quick pickoff throw. Hodgson hits a grounder past first and into right field. And Lawrence is going to round second. He's stumbling a bit, but he is going to head down to third. Harris Hodgson's bat really picking up these last couple games, as he's got 3 of his 4 base hits on the season in the last 2 games. Back-to-back base hits here, and now batting the second baseman, number 30, Danny Carballo. First pitch, Carballo lifts one out to left center. Center fielder tracks it, catches it, but Lawrence is going to tag and head for home. Textbook sac fly from Danny Carballo to drive in Brookline's 3rd run. How about this Brookline offense? They've had their share of ups and downs this season, but they're really carrying that momentum from Saturday's 17-run juggernaut into this one. You almost feel like maybe these guys are just more confident in themselves after that one. First pitch to Connor Fitzgerald just misses for ball 1. Fitzgerald, his first time up, he grounded into a 4-3 ground out. Runner at first, 1 out here as Fitzgerald lifts one over the second baseman into right center. Hodgson is going to round second. He's aggressively going for third, but this one's going to be close. A long throw from center, and he gets in safe, and Fitzgerald advances on the throw. Aggressive base running from Brookline, paying big dividends here, as they've now got 2 in scoring position off a single to right. That one does still go down as a single technically for stat-keeping purposes, but nothing. Two runs here in the second inning after 2 in the first, and now batting the third baseman, number 2, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, Bollinger attacking immediately again, but this time he fouls it off. First strike 1. First pitch he saw in the first inning, he launched it to left center for an RBI double. Now with 2 outs and a runner at third. And Bollinger lifts one deep to straightaway left, and it's within range for the left fielder, as that is going to be out number 3. But Brookline off to a tremendous offensive start here, as they go to the bottom half of the inning, leading 4-0. Rabiner back on the hill as he'll be facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Braintree, Segley, King, and DeRoche. All right, here we go as we start the bottom of the second inning. Leading off for Braintree, the left fielder, number 9, John Segley. First pitch is going to be high for ball 1. Some fun numeric coincidences between these two lineups, as that's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Both teams have their left fielder wearing number 9 today. Fitzgerald for Brookline, Segley for Braintree. As he hits a slow bouncer over to first, fielded cleanly by Gameau. Tags first easily for out number 1. An efficient 3-pitch out for Rabiner to start things off. Now batting the center fielder, number 2, Max King. That one close to hitting him, but curves just enough that it's simply an inside ball 1. That breaking ball catches the low corner for strike 1. And that time works it back to the fastball for strike 2. And that one fouled off as King stays alive. You know, something I'm really gaining an appreciation for is just how fast Rabiner works. You know, as a commentator, it's like I almost wish I had more time to say something, but Rabiner just attacks, and attacks as he gets strike 3 there for the second out of the inning. Rabiner, he just stays on you. When his stuff is working, there's no time to recollect yourself as a batter because he's just going right back to his next pitch. As the first pitch is going to be chased low for strike 1. At the plate, the second baseman, number 1, Max DeRoche. That breaking ball catches the low corner as well as he lifted that one up a little more. Strike 2. Fastball comes in way high for ball 1. Came out of the arm a little early that time. But that one perfect. Right down Broadway and tipped into the glove for strike 3. As Rabiner, feeling the fire, puts the Braintree bats down in order. Rabiner had a bit of a shaky start to the game, giving up a walk and then having a batter reach on an E9. But since then, he's been dealing 6 straight outs, including 3 Ks and a double play off a big defensive play up the middle by Jimmy DiPaolo. And you know, when your defense is making plays behind you and your offense is making plays on the flip side of the inning, as a pitcher, your confidence just builds and builds and builds off of that. And we're definitely seeing that with Rabiner here. The 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for Brookline: Gameau, DiPaolo, and Hoffman. We got our first note in the live chat here from our friends in San Diego, Cheryl Bollinger, saying, "Great start, the bats are hot." And yeah, the bats certainly seem to be heating up with the weather for Brookline here. This might be the warmest day we've had so far. We've had some significant wind gusts. We actually had a wind advisory on the weather forecast earlier today with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Still getting some wind through here, but overall it's, you know, counters the warm weather kind of nicely there, complements it a bit. Leading off for Brookline here in the top of the third, the first baseman number 4, Thaddeus Gameau, as he's going to foul that one off for strike 2. Gameau got an RBI single his last time up, as that one just low. Good eye from Gameau for ball 1. Breaking ball is hit by Gameau. Bouncer towards the gap. Chased down by the shortstop. Long throw to first. Scooped up and just beats him by a fraction of a step for the first out. You know, that one almost looked like it had a chance for an infield single or a reach on error, but good coverage from the shortstop Peter Brooks and a nice scoop off the bounce by Ryan Zolano at first. First pitch is high for ball 1 to the shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DiPaolo. Slices this one in the air towards shallow right field in foul territory. No, it drops in. That's fair. And that's going to be extra bases for DiPaolo. He slides in safe with a double. Boy, silly me. I said that was in said it was in foul territory. I was completely wrong. That one just dropping completely in no man's land, right in the middle of 3 Braintree fielders chasing after it. And now Brookline's got a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Up comes the right fielder, number 3, Eli Hoffman. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Hoffman, his last time up, he reached on an E4, but then DiPaolo was thrown out at third to end the inning on the same play. And that one foul tipped for strike 2. I thought the count was 0-2. The scoreboard says 1-2. I'm not sure. Hoffman hits a bouncer over to second, fielded clean by DeRoche, underhands it to first, and it effectively works similar to a sac bunt as Hoffman moves DiPaolo to third, but that is 2 outs. Runner at third, 2 down. Up comes the center fielder, number 24, Wally Lawrence. Lawrence got a single to lead off the second inning his last time up and then came in to score. As that one gonna miss high and away for ball 1. That one in the zone for strike 1. Luke Joyce, the Braintree pitcher, trying to keep Brookline from scoring for the 3rd consecutive inning as they hung 2 on the board in each of the first 2 innings. Lawrence fouls that one off for strike 2. 1-2 the count, 2 down, runner at third. And that's going to be a high ball 2. That one just outside. Good eye from Lawrence as he's not letting Joyce get this one easy. Full count here. That one is in there for strike 3. Lawrence thought he had ball 4 and was starting to trot down to first. But Joyce gets his first K of the day, and that will end the top of the third. Brookline leaves a man stranded at third base as they have their first scoreless inning of the ball game. Coming up in the bottom of the third for Braintree, it'll be their 8-9-1 hitters, Zahn, Farragher, and Brooks. Nikolai Rabiner back on the hill for his third inning of work. Had a very strong second inning. Ever since the leadoff walk he allowed to start the game, he hasn't allowed a single batter to reach safely. One batter did get on, but that was off of an error. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 12, Aiden Zahn. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Another funny numeric and positional coincidence between these two teams is Zahn skies this one into shallow right. Looks like it's going to curve in fair territory, and Hoffman tracks it nicely for out number 1. That one almost looked kind of similar to DePaulo's double from the top half of the inning, but Hoffman tracks that one well for the out. Nice kind of a bounce back after the error in the first inning. Now batting, the right fielder, number 4, Gavin Farragher. What I was saying, the funny coincidence is that both teams have their designated hitter both wearing number 12 and batting 8th in the batting order today. Hodgson for Brookline and Zahn for Braintree. As we got a timeout called by the ump. Okay, false start, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down. Let's try this again. Swing and a miss as Rabiner blows that by him. And actually, we got a slightly different player than what was listed on the roster. That's not number 4. Number 27 lifts that one out to left, backtracking. A nice jumping catch by Connor Fitzgerald deep in left field for out number 2. So that was number 27, Ryan Atkinson, who was batting that time, not Farragher. Now we cycle back to the top of the order with the shortstop, number 3, Peter Brooks, as he takes a low ball 1. That one in the zone for strike 1. Rabiner dealing fast. This one sliced right over my head here on the first base side. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. Rabiner on the brink of putting him down in order for the second inning in a row. But skips that one in the dirt for ball 2. Brooks, his last time up, got a walk. And really, that's the only mark against Rabiner's pitching outings so far. Just one walk and no hits so far for the Brookline hurler. As that one skips in the dirt, ball 3. Trying a little too hard to get fancy here. As that is going to be a wild pitch for ball 4. Brooks, his second free pass of the day. So a runner at first base runner since the first inning for Braintree. Now coming up, the first baseman, number 8, Ryan Zolano. Zolano, the last batter to reach base for Braintree, as Rabiner throws back to first to check on Brooks. Zolano reached on an E9 his last time up, but was ultimately put out on the double play ball. Delayed swing there on the breaking ball, fouled off for strike 1. That one misses. Ball 1. Another throw back to first, and Brooks dives back safe. One the count, and chases another breaking ball. Strike 2. Runner goes. The pitch gonna miss just inside. Hom was looking for the strike 3 call. He did not get it, and so Brooks gets to take second. Now this one fouled off by Zolano as he stays alive at 2-2. That one way high, ball 3. Second batter in a row to battle back from a 2-strike count to get to a full count here against Rabiner. This one hit up the middle, skips past Carballo, and rounding third is Brooks. He's going to come in. First run of the game for Braintree. A tough hop off the infield dirt there. I would score that as a single, but I'll double check that on Game Changer to see if they gave him the base hit. As Zolano drives in Brooks, and it is a 4-1 ball game. That breaking ball misses inside, ball 2. At the plate, the third baseman, number 16, Mike Ryan, as he takes strike 1 there. Ryan went down on strikes on 3 pitches his last time up. Already got a longer at bat this time. Throw back to first, but Zolano not that far off the bag. He's able to come back standing up. Still 2 down. Now a runner at first. That one does hit the zone. It's another 2-strike count. But that third strike has been eluding Rabiner the last 2 batters. But it eludes him no more. Whiffs on the breaking ball there, and that's strike 3. Braintree puts an end to the shutout at least, as they cut Brookline's lead down to 3. Our score at the end of 3, Brookline 4, Braintree 1. During this break between the 3rd and 4th innings, I'd like to take a moment to shout out our local charity spotlight for today, Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High School students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those experiencing homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those struggling with homelessness warm during the colder months, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. What Brookline Cares does is they purchase Empower coats from the Empowerment Plan, financially supporting them and the work that they do, and then they distribute those Empower coats to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless. And you can help them bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section of this video, you can find a link on the website classy.org where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team, supporting their efforts to purchase more Empower coats. Or if you're a student interested in joining Brookline Cares, you can find another link, this time to the organization's own website on wixsite.com, where you can find more information about the group and how you can contact them. Once again, check out the links in the description section below and help spread the warmth with Brookline Cares. First pitch here of the fourth inning is going to be a low ball one. At the plate for Brookline, the designated hitter, number 12, Harris Hodgson. Hodgson got a single his last time up and came in to score on a sac fly. Fouls that one off as he was behind the fastball there for strike one. It'll be Hodgson, Carballo, and Fitzgerald due up this inning. That pitch, I think, just missed, so that's going to be ball two. That one in the zone for strike two. Joyce putting the movement on his pitches in this one. But this one lifted out to right by Hodgson, but tracking it is Atkinson. And that'll be out number one. Now batting here, the second baseman, number 30, Danny Carballo. Carballo got a sac fly his last time up. This time lines a shot out to left, and that is going to drop in for a clean single. Danny Carballo, who got his first career hit on Saturday, has really started to find his rhythm as he's now got a sac fly and a single to start this game. Now batting the left fielder, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald. First pitch, and he tips that one for strike one. Fitzgerald so far today 1 for 2 with a 4-3 ground out and a single. That one misses, ball one. Joyce taking a look at first, throws back to first. Carballo dives back safe. Brookline hasn't been that aggressive on the base paths today, and I don't blame them with a lefty pitcher on the hill. Just makes it that much more challenging. That one catches the outside corner for strike two. Fitzgerald behind in the count, 1-2. And he lifts this one out to left, but that is within range. That's going to be an easy catch for John Segley for out number 2. Now batting the catcher, number 13, Felix Hom. Runner goes, a low ball, and Carballo slides in, just barely beats the throw to take second base. A good jump to second from Carballo. Just after I was talking about how Brookline hadn't been aggressive, they decide to be aggressive, and the freshman comes through with a nice steal there. Hom now with a chance to potentially drive in a run. He had 4 ribbies on Saturday. Big cut and a miss there for strike one. Hom's got 1 RBI already. He is currently 0 for 0 with a walk and a sac fly. Now he shoots one deep out to center towards the wall, going back. It's out of reach for the center fielder, and it bounces over the wall. A ground rule double from Felix Hom, and Brookline puts another run on the board. Make that his team-leading 4th double of the season for Felix Hom, as his courtesy runner, Max Kaufman, heads up to second. And that steal from Danny Carballo, huge, as we've got an intentional walk here of Hugh Bollinger. Boy, if that's not the ultimate sign of respect. They create a force at first, second, and third now, as up comes the first baseman, number 4, Thaddeus Gameau. And Gameau lines the first shot off the glove of the shortstop. They make him pay for the intentional walk as Kaufman comes in to score, and Bollinger races down to third. Another run for Brookline. You know, a question mark of whether that's a single or an E6 for Gameau, but either way, he is on first, and Kaufman is in to score his second run of the ball game. 6-1, the Brookline lead, as up comes Jimmy DiPaolo, and he takes a high ball 1. Third time out of 4 innings that Brookline has scored 2. Jimmy DiPaolo hits a hard grounder to short, fielded clean, this time by Brooks. He tags second, and that will end the inning. 2 more on the board for Brookline, as their offense is just humming today. 6-1, the Brookline lead, as we head to the bottom of the 4th. And I got to tell you, folks, I think this day might be even more impressive than that 17 mark that they hung on Sharon on Saturday. Because as amazing as that one was, you know, it's against a Division II opponent. You know, there were a lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitches. This, Brookline is just tagging a lot of these pitches against a D1 opponent ranked in the top 10 in the power rankings. This is, I'm just like, where has this team been all spring? Who are these guys? Back on the bump is Nikolai Rabiner for his 4th inning of work. If he finishes this inning with the lead intact, and then Brookline holds the lead the rest of the way, then he will be eligible for the pitching win, which would be his 3rd, but he's still got to put in the work to get there. He'll be facing Joyce, Segley, and King. Here we go. Start of the bottom of the 4th, and Rabiner is going to miss low at the breaking ball for ball 1. Leading off, the pitcher, number 25, Luke Joyce, as he takes ball 2. Rabiner missing to start. This one fouled off for strike 1. Joyce grounded into a 6-3 double play to end the 1st inning. Now hits a hard bouncer over to second, fielded clean by Carballo, thrown to first for out number 1. Solid play at second by Danny Carballo, who got fooled by a tough bounce up the middle, which resulted in Braintree's only run so far on that hard hit from Zolano. Now batting the left fielder, number 9, John Segley First pitch just misses for ball 1. That one outside for ball 2. Check swing on the high ball there for ball 3. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Segley. 3 walks so far today for Rabiner. As it's now a runner at first with 1 out. As up comes the center fielder, number 2, Max King. First pitch low for ball 1. Rabiner having some trouble hitting the zone here in the 4th inning. You know, he was really hitting the zone hard in the 2nd inning. As King now lifts this one out to left. Fitzgerald going back towards the wall, and that's out of here. Max King sends it over the fence for a 2-run shot. And just like that, Brookline's lead cut almost in half. One big swing from Max King. And this is what you gotta worry about going up against a team like Braintree. I've covered a few games here at Braintree over the years. This isn't the first time I've seen one of them put one over the fence. So we'll see how Rabiner bounces back from that one. Starts with a strike to the second baseman, number 1, Max DeRoche, but then misses the next one low for ball 1. And that one skips in the dirt, ball 2. Remember, Rabiner did pitch on Saturday. You wonder, with a lead, how tight the leash on him is going to be. As DeRoche lifts this one out to right center, but looks like Hoffman's got it for out number 2. And Rabiner needed that second out in a big way after giving up that big shot to left by King. 2 down, bases empty, and up comes the designated hitter, number 12, Aiden Zahn. First pitch skips in the dirt for ball 1. Zahn flew out to right his last time up. Breaking ball drops into the zone nicely for strike 1. Swing and a miss as he goes from breaking ball to fastball. 1-2 the count. And another low dipping breaker gets strike 3 as Rabiner quickly gets that third out to end the 4th inning. But a big swing from Max King has significantly changed the fabric and momentum of this ball game. Our score at the end of 4, Brookline 6, Braintree 3. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters for Brookline. Hoffman, Lawrence, and Hodgson due up as Braintree is going to stick with Luke Joyce for his 5th inning. He's given up 6 runs through the first 4 innings. I don't know exactly how many were earned because that last hit by Thaddeus Gameau, I wasn't sure if it was a base hit or an error. I'm leaning towards error, but I'm just kind of leaving it up to check Game Changer later. I would say an error, but that's just me. And if that's the case, 5 of the 6 runs scored by Brookline are earned runs against Joyce. Leading off for Brookline here in the top of the fifth, the right fielder, number 3, Eli Hoffman. First pitch lifts one into shallow left, and it drops in. The outfielders playing deep out here in Braintree, and Hoffman makes them pay for that with a looping single to left. Leadoff runner aboard as up comes the center fielder, number 24, Wally Lawrence. First pitch shows bunt, but he pops it up right to the catcher, caught by Hillard. And that's a tough break for Lawrence. He was trying to use his speed and sneak up on the Braintree defense, but undercuts that ball, and it backfires for a quick one pitch out for Joyce. A meeting at the mound now between Joyce and Hillard. And now the designated hitter, number 12, Harris Hodgson, takes the first pitch for strike one. Hodgson, so far today, 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout to right. That one skips in the dirt for ball one. Runner at first, 1 out, 1-1 in the count. That one gonna miss, ball 2. That one catches the inside corner this time, strike 2. Couple of close pitches. An intense kind of battle building here between Joyce and Hodgson. Oh, fooled on the breaking ball completely, as you could see he was trying to stop himself from swinging at that one, and he just couldn't. Two down, runner at first. Up comes the second baseman, number 30, Danny Carballo, as he looks at the first pitch low for ball 1. Carballo with a nice day so far, 1 for 1 with a sac fly and a single. 1 run scored and 1 RBI. Pops this one up, going to stay in the infield. Joyce calling for it himself, and he lost it! Lost track of it, and Carballo is going to reach on the E1. Bit of a break there for Brookline as the sun and the wind play a factor once again in this one. We've seen a few pop-ups befuddle both teams' defenses today, and that one befuddled Joyce. First pitch whiffed on the off-speed by Connor Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, his 4th turn at the plate now, 1 for 3 with a single, a flyout, and a ground out as he takes a high ball 1. Hoffman at second, Carballo at first. Brookline trying to put more pressure on Braintree and see if they can swing the momentum back after the home run. That one hits the zone, strike 2. Fitzgerald, a patient hitter at the plate, but you don't want to be too patient if your opponent is hitting the zone. That one just outside, ball 2. There is some action going on in the bullpen for Braintree. That one fouled off by Fitzgerald. Not letting him have this out easy. This is a thing that Fitzgerald can do. He can really give you a fight. Even if he's out, a lot of times he's going to run up that pitch count. And this one lifted to center by Fitzgerald. That's going to drop in for a hit. Hoffman rounding third, headed for the plate. It's another run in for Brookline off the RBI single from Connor Fitzgerald. And the error proves costly for Braintree as Fitzgerald picks up the RBI. Hoffman in to score. Now up the catcher, number 13, Felix Hom. That one in the zone for strike one. Hom 1 for 1 so far today with a walk, a sac fly, a double, and 2 RBI. Brookline up 7-3. 0-1 the count to Hom. Runners at first and second. That one catches the outside corner for strike two. And Hom fouls that one off to stay alive. Bit of a delayed swing, but a good defensive cut from Hom to stay in the at-bat. Hom still with his back to the wall at 0-2. And he hits one towards the gap. That's going to get thrown into right field. And it's rounding third is Carballo. And it's going to be close. No, it's not. Carballo in to score. A third RBI for Felix Hom. He's got 7 in the last 2 games. How about Felix Hom? He was the top hitter for Brookline last year in a lot of categories. Got off to a bit of a slow start this season, but he has really found his form. Like I said, 7 RBI over the last 2 games. Now stepping in the third baseman, number 2, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, he hits a hard bouncer. That's going to go through the gap into left. And now rounding third and heading for the plate is Fitzgerald. Another RBI single for Brookline, this one by Hugh Bollinger. That one dropped pop-up has proved to be a huge catalyst for the Brookline offense, as since that erroneous pop-up, they've driven in 3 runs. And that's going to be the end of the day for Joyce. A rough one for him, you know. Give him credit for lasting as long as he did. This was a tough day for him. Never allowed any full blow-up innings, but just couldn't seem to find that that dominant stretch that he needed to keep Brookline off the board. And then the last few runs, all of them unearned, but that just shows sometimes one error is all it takes and things just start snowballing on you. New pitcher on the hill for Braintree is going to be number 15, Danny Shalgian. So Joyce will be the pitcher on hook for the loss for Braintree unless they can come back from this now 9-3 deficit, as this is now the highest scoring inning that Brookline has had so far today. They had 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the fourth, and now 3 here in the fifth. And boy, just to really put in context how big of a difference this has been for Brookline these last couple of games. They had 46 runs to their name through their first 12 games, and they've scored 26 so far over their last 2. They were averaging less than 4 runs a game before Saturday, and now something has just been unlocked. Stepping in, Thaddeus Gameau takes the first pitch from Shalgian for strike 1. Bollinger at first, Kaufman, the courtesy runner, at third. Gameau hits a bouncer over to third, fielded, long throw coming, and it's complete. And that will end the inning. Ryan to Zolano on the throw. But boy, that is how you answer back after giving up a home run. And Brookline is going to stick with Nikolai Rabiner for his 5th inning of work. This basically his 7th inning of work over the last 2 games after getting the win in relief against Sharon. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters due up for Braintree, Atkinson, Brooks, and Zolano. Leading off for the Womps here in the bottom of the 5th, the right fielder, number 27, Ryan Atkinson. First pitch, and he lines it into left center. That's going to go to the gap for extra bases. Atkinson rounding first and coming in for a stand-up leadoff double. And this is where you start to wonder, again, how long is the leash going to be for Rabiner if the Braintree bats are starting to square up on him? Now we're back to the top of the order with the shortstop, number 3, Ryan Brooks. He lifts one into right field, coming in for it, and it couldn't be caught on the diving attempt by Hoffman. And that one, I think, can just be marked as a single. You can't give a guy an error for laying out and not coming up with the ball. But 2 quick hits for Braintree. Rabiner, over the past couple years, he's built a reputation as a guy who can get out of a jam, and boy, is he in one here. Runners at the corners with nobody out, as up comes the first baseman, number 8, Ryan Zolano. A pickoff throw to first as Brooks dives back. Zolano drove in Braintree's first run of the game, and he's in a position to drive in another as he takes strike 1. That one misses to the outside, ball 1. This one catches the low corner. Rabiner really working that fastball, 1-2. Wouldn't be surprised if he mixes it up with an off-speed or breaking ball here. And he does break it to the outside, but Zolano does not bite, ball 2. That one, a fastball high and in for ball 3. Rabiner's been having a little trouble, getting a little too fancy with 2 strike counts the past couple of innings. And this one popped up in foul territory. Gameau is tracking it, and he's got it. A big infield pop out to get for Rabiner, as that not only gets the first out, but leaves the runners where they are. And that's the thing, even if you got a runner at third, pitching to contact, not the worst thing there. At the plate now, the third baseman, number 16, Mike Ryan. Ryan 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts as he takes high ball 1. This one lifted deep out to center. Going back for it is Lawrence. He's going to catch it, but it is going to be a successful sac fly as Atkinson comes in to score. Second out, but a run is going to come in for the Womps off the sac fly from Ryan. And now batting the, I guess, designated hitter at this point, number 25, Luke Joyce, as he takes strike 1. Joyce no longer on the hill for Braintree, but still stepping in to bat. Joyce, so far, he's grounded into a double play. And he's grounded out to second, facing a 1-1 count. So 2 ground outs for Joyce so far. That one going to hang high for ball 2. Swing and a miss as he blows the fastball by him. 2-2 the count, 2 down. Runner at first here in the bottom of the 5th. And that one a high ball 3. Again, Rabiner struggling to get that third strike. Payoff pitch is going to miss for ball 4. Runners at first and second now, still 2 out as up comes the left fielder, number 9, John Segley. Segley, so far, he has grounded out to first and drawn a walk and scored a run. So 0 for 1 with a walk and a run. They're going to send in a runner for Joyce. Can't quite see the number at the moment. But for now, Segley steps in. First pitch to Segley, high heat misses, ball 1. It is number 19 running for Joyce. That one missed to the outside. Brookline might need to make a call to the bullpen soon, as Rabiner deep into this game after also pitching on Saturday. That one does hit the zone, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Another 2-strike count for Rabiner, but he has had trouble finishing even with these 2-strike counts. But he finishes that one, catches the inside corner with the fastball to put an end to the inning. At the end of 5, the score, Brookline 9, Braintree 4. And Are they putting Joyce back on the mound? I have never seen this before. I've seen teams sub out a hitter for one at bat and then sub the normal guy back in the next turn around the order. I have never seen a pitcher get subbed out for one batter and then sub back in. I didn't even know if that was allowed, but apparently it is. My normal understand, like at least in higher levels of baseball, you take a pitcher out and he's done for the day. Apparently this is allowed at the high school level. You know, you learn something new every day. I guess it's similar to the fact that you can sub out a pinch hitter for one at bat and then sub someone else back in. It's an interesting thing, to be sure. Anyway, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Brookline, starting with the shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DiPaolo. First pitch is low for ball 1. This one in the zone, strike 1. DiPaolo hits a bouncer up the third base line, picked up. A long throw from Ryan is good for out number 1. Now batting, the right fielder, number 3, Eli Hoffman, as he takes ball 1 there. Very interesting choice to bring back in a pitcher who's thrown so much today and given up 9 runs, even if only about 5 of them are earned. But still a tough day for Joyce, but they're sending him back out there to keep on fighting, as it's a 2-1 count to Hoffman here. Chases the breaking ball for strike 2. And I mean, I guess if nothing else, even if it continues to be a tough day for Joyce, you save some of your other arms for the rest of the week. Hoffman lifts one. That's going to go up the middle for a single. Eli Hoffman really finding his rhythm at the dish as he picks up another hit. His first multi-hit game of the season, as he had just 2 hits on the season coming into this ball game. Wally Lawrence, big swing and a miss for strike 1. Lawrence tried to do a sneak bunt his last time up, see if he could get a bunt single, but instead popped out to the catcher. Before that, struck out, and then before that, singled. That one, strike 2. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes from Joyce. Lawrence down on strikes. Now batting the designated hitter, number 12, Harris Hodgson. 2 down, runner at first. And that one sliced foul up the third base side for strike 1. Hodgson, so far today, he has singled, scored a run, flown out to right, and struck out. So 1 for 3. That one in the zone for strike 2. And he hits a dribbler up the first base side, picked up by Zolano. He'll tag first himself. And Joyce bounces back well in the 6th inning. Brookline still up by 5, and Rabener's coming back out for another inning. That is very surprising to see Rabener continue to come back out for his 6th inning of work. Yes, you're up 5 and you want to save arms for the rest of the week, but you don't want to overwork your guy too much, given that he also pitched on Saturday. And you don't want to leave the door too open for Braintree, so you got to imagine it's going to be a short leash here in the 6th. You know, like 1, 2 base runners on, and they might just yank him at that point. Hugh Bollinger was working in the bullpen for Brookline, so he might come on to pitch potentially. It'll be King, DeRoche, and Zahn coming up for Braintree. Of course, King, the one that had the big swing that produced half of Braintree's runs so far today with that home run to left. Bottom of the 6th, Brookline up by 5, and they are 6 outs away from creating their first win streak of the season. Breaking ball catches the low corner for strike 1. That one drops low, ball 1. That one to the outside corner, strike 2. And that one tipped, but could not be snagged by Hom, and so it'll simply be a foul ball as King stays alive. Wind gusts blowing towards the outfield now as that one misses to the outside, ball 2. And that can make things very dangerous for the pitcher if wind is blowing that way. That one just a bit outside, full count. And that one misses for ball 4. It's been a tough time getting strike 3 for Rabener. He's had so many 2-strike counts over the past few innings where he just couldn't quite finish the job. Now batting the second baseman, number 1, Max DeRoche. First pitch, and it's sliced foul and out of play for strike 1. DeRoche so far today, he has struck out and flown out to right as he takes strike 1 there. Or strike 2, I should say, because he fouled off the first one. I can count, I promise. That one missing to the outside, and DeRoche doesn't chase. And that one high and in, ball 2. And again, Rabener can't let himself get too fancy even when he's got 2 strikes. Keep attacking the zone. Otherwise, guys are going to know that they can just sit on 2-strike pitches that you throw to them. As that one got away from Hom, runner goes, throw a little wild. And King is going to take that on the passed ball. A full count now to DeRoche. Runner now at second off the passed ball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big payoff pitch for Rabener. He needed that one in a big way. And now up, the designated hitter, number 12, Aiden Zahn. That one just misses. It's been a very tight strike zone for both teams really today. And you know what? You have to adjust to what the ump gives you. But it's been a tough day for the pitchers. That one misses well outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Zahn. Zahn, so far today, he has flown out to right and struck out. This one a check swing foul. Bollinger giving chase. That one almost curved back towards fair territory, but not quite. Respect the hustle from Bollinger, seeing if he could race out for that one, but it was well out of his reach. 2-1 the count. Runner at second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Brookline leads by 5. Swing and a miss as he chases the high one that time for strike 2. Zahn a little off kilter the past couple of pitches, and he chases another one for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Nikolai Rabiner, as now up comes the right fielder, number 27, Ryan Atkinson. And that one gets away, and a wild pitch moves King down to third. A runner now on third. The 1-0 pitch going to miss away for ball 2. Atkinson, so far today, he has flown out to left, doubled, and scored a run. Now he lifts one out to center field. That's going to drop in a clean RBI single for Atkinson as he brings in King. And I think that's going to be the end of the day for Rabiner. Top of the order coming up as they're about to make their 4th turn through the batting order of this game. And my goodness, they're sticking with Rabiner. Head coach Brendan O'Connor expressing a lot of confidence in his top hurler here, as he has he's pitched 8 innings over the last 3 days as the pickoff throw does not catch Atkinson. 2 down, runner at first. That one misses low for ball 1. And I feel like the strategy here has got to be pitch Rabiner as much as you can to save as many arms as you can for the rest of the games this week, as that one's going to hang for ball 2. Brookline's got a big marquee match coming up on Wednesday against Natick, as this one skied by Brooks into center, but it's going to be an easy can of corn for Wally Lawrence, as Nikolai Rabiner, the marathon man, finishes his 6th inning of work. Boy, we are seeing 2 teams and 2 coaches that has shown no hesitation sending out their starting pitchers for big workloads, although we finally got a sub out for Braintree. This will be Max King taking over on the bump for Joyce. So Joyce basically ends up pitching 5 2/3 innings because Shalgian got the last out of the 5th, but Joyce got every other out the rest of the game. It'll be Carballo, Fitzgerald, and Hom due up for the Warriors. All right, leading off for Brookline in the top of the 7th, the second baseman, number 30, Danny Carballo. Carballo so far today 1 for 2 with a single, a sac fly, and a reach on error as he goes around on that one for strike 1. Carballo also has 2 runs scored and an RBI. Takes that one low for ball 1. And Carballo fouls that one off. Chasing the low fastball there. 1-2. And Carballo chases it low again, and this time catches air. Strike 3. Now back to the top of the order as up comes the left fielder, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald. Fifth plate appearance for Fitzgerald as he takes ball 1 to the outside. So far, Fitzgerald, he is grounded out to second, singled, flown out to left, and gotten an RBI single. So 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI for Fitzgerald so far as he takes strike 1. And Fitzgerald chases the breaking ball there, strike 2. And that one, oh, it did get into the strike zone there. Looked like it was going to hang outside. But the high outside corner is given to King there for his second straight K. Now batting the catcher, number 13, Felix Hom, who has already had himself quite the day today. He's got 3 RBI already as he gets hit by the first pitch, and it also hits the ump. Oh, I hope he's okay. He's kind of doubled over there. That one went off of Hom's shoulder. And I'm not sure if it caught the ump in the shoulder or if it caught him like in the throat or something. I hope he's okay. Shaking it off. Looks like he's okay. That's good to see. Yeah, it wasn't the hardest pitch, and it did hit Hom first, but I feel like it's just a matter of where did it hit him, because it might have caught him in a soft spot in his padding. Felix Hom with his team-leading 3rd hit-by-pitch of the season. Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 2, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch low for ball 1. The courtesy runner, Max Kaufman, at first with 2 down. A 1-0 count here in the top of the 7th. That one catches the high outside corner. Strike one. Bollinger so far today, he got an RBI double back in the first. Get Brookline scoring started as he takes a low ball two there. He's also flown out to left and been intentionally walked and gotten an RBI single. So a run scored and 2 RBI for Bollinger so far today. 2 for 3 at the plate with a walk. That one skips in the dirt for ball 3. And he swings and tags it out to center. Hugh Bollinger with his 3rd base hit of the day. Now 3 for 4 at the plate with a walk. So now 2 on and 2 out, and up comes the first baseman, number 4, Thaddeus Gameau. Gameau, first pitch, hits a chopper over to short, fielded by Brooks. Long throw while on the run. And they say Joyce kept his foot on the bag to complete the 6-3 ground out. Brookline threatens but cannot score in the top half of the 7th. And they have a 4-run cushion, but you know this Braintree offense can be dangerous. If things get out of control, we'll see if Brookline can shut the door. So will they bring out a reliever here for the bottom of the 7th? That is the question. I'm seeing a lot of players come out. And I see it looks like they've moved Danny Carballo over to 3rd, and they're putting Armand Tandon at 2nd, which suggests to me that it will, in fact, be Hugh Bollinger trotting out onto the mound to try and finish this. Now, this situation just short of a save opportunity as Brookline leads by 4. Needs to be 3 or less. Bollinger has made 1 previous 1-inning relief appearance. Not much to speak about stats-wise. Everything just a lot of zeros except for the 1 game, the 1 inning pitched, and the 1 strikeout. Bollinger making just his 3rd career pitching appearance in high school. As, of course, his freshman season, his very first high school game, came in as a reliever, pitched 4 shutout innings, and got the win when he himself got the walk-off hit in the bottom of the 7th. But then, due to some arm troubles, was kept off the mound for the rest of his freshman season and all of his sophomore season. Now he is making his 2nd appearance of his junior season, as he'll be facing the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Zolano, Ryan, and Joyce, to try and finish this one. Leading off for Braintree here in the bottom of the 7th, the first baseman, number 8, Ryan Zolano. First pitch, and he catches the chin music and goes around for strike 1. Zolano, so far he has reached on an E9. gotten an RBI single as he takes strike 2 there. And he is popped out to first. So 1 for 3. As that one flew out of Bollinger's control, ball 1. Bollinger just throwing heat here to start this one. Nothing fancy. You're a reliever. Your team's up 4. Just throw strikes. And again, lost control of that one. Really, 3 of his 4 pitches so far have missed the zone. He just got a lucky swing on the first one. And again, it misses high. Bollinger having a little trouble with control to start this one as we got a full count to Zolano. And he went for a breaking ball that time, and it missed to the outside. And Zolano's got a leadoff walk. Now batting the third baseman, number 16, Mike Ryan. That one inside for ball 1. Ryan, so far today, he has struck out twice and hit a sac fly. That one misses high for ball 2. And now the catcher, Felix Hom, coming out to talk to Bollinger, try and settle him down, get his pitches under control. He's been missing a lot of stuff high. This happens sometimes at the high school level. You have a reliever come in and just not warmed up enough and doesn't have his control. Some wind gusting through here, a lot of dust blowing around the infield here in Braintree. That one misses high for ball 3. A 3-0 hitter's count to Ryan. And it's a 4-pitch walk as Bollinger just missing completely to start this one. And now we're going to have a full infield meeting as head coach Brendan O'Connor comes out to talk to Bollinger. Just taking a beat, resetting him. Wasn't even that long of a meeting, just saying, hey, stand here, throw strikes. Listen, this game is not over. Technically speaking, the tying run is on deck for Braintree with 2 on as they trail by 4. First pitch to the first baseman, number 25, Luke Joyce. Going to miss for ball 1. Joyce, as the pitcher on credit for the loss currently, would certainly like to help the cause here as that one's going to miss for ball 2. Brookline quickly getting some work going in the bullpen as they don't want to blow this one here in the 7th after what a strong day they've had on offense. As that one misses, ball 3. Joyce seems to be stepping in as Bollinger's throwing, just kind of daring him. And another 4-pitch walk, and it's a wild pitch this time. And what a disaster for Hugh Bollinger as his pitch is just not coming out of his arm right. Now the base is juiced, and with nobody out, the tying run is at the plate in the form of left fielder number 9, John Segley. That pitch, oh, just outside. The ump not giving him anything. It's been a tight strike zone. And now it's way high again for ball 2. And that one misses high, ball 3. And it's going to be a third straight 4-pitch walk for Hugh Bollinger as Segley with the bases loaded walk brings in Zolano, and it's a 3-run game. The tying run is on first. And it looks like they're signaling that their next reliever is good to go. For now, they're going to stick with Bollinger as Bollinger finally hits the zone. At the plate is the pitcher, number 2, Max King. He's homered once. If he homers again here, it'd be a walk-off win as that one misses high for ball 1. Unbelievable to think, as Brookline is led by as many as 5 today. Hugh Bollinger going to call timeout. 1-1 the count. And that one fouled off, strike 2. If he can just get one out, whether it be a strikeout or draw contact, just anything after 4 straight walks to start the inning. Bollinger calling another timeout with Hom. And the ump's trying to rush him along. 1-2, the count to King. That one misses high and in, ball 2. Can sense the frustration really building for Bollinger as he took his hat off for that one. 2-2. That one misses low and in for ball 3. It's gone from a 1-2 count to a 3-2 full count. Payoff pitch coming. And it's skied up in the air by King into shallow left. Apollo going back for it, but calling for it is full Fitzgerald. He makes the catch. Runner is going to tag and score. A 2-run ball game, but Bollinger gets the monkey off his back with the first out of the inning. Fitzgerald not even chancing it, just making sure he had that one in his glove. But Ryan comes in to score. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Segley here at first. Looks like it's going to be number 19 again. And now at the plate, a pinch hitter in place of DeRoche. This is Gavin Zolano, younger brother of Ryan Zolano. Tying run is at first with 1 out in the inning. And it looks like the umps are issuing a warning to Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger managed to get 1 out. Can he escape alive in this one? First pitch high and away, ball 1. Gavin Zolano, the pinch hitter, a lefty bat in here in place of DeRoche. That one high for ball 2. And that one misses, ball 3. If Bollinger walks another, you got to imagine he's going to be pulled probably for Harris Hodgson, as we saw him warming up in the bullpen. That one finally hits the zone, strike one. That one, oh man, that's a tough outside ball four. And that's going to reload the bases. And now the tying run in scoring position at second and the winning run at first, as they're going to bring DeRoche back in to run for Gavin Zolano. And now Brookline brings in a reliever, number 12, Harris Hodgson, coming in for Bollinger, who just had a nightmarish outing here. 5 walks issued out of 6 batters faced for Hugh Bollinger. He just could not find the strike zone. I know it's been tight all game, but for a lot of that, Bollinger just had no control, and there wasn't going to be any leeway given to him because these umps aren't giving that kind of leeway today to anybody, really. Looking at the stats for Harris Hodgson so far this season, he's made 5 previous relief appearances. Got an 0-2 win-loss record. He's pitched 11.2 innings over his last 5 appearances. Got an ERA of 3.6, a whip of 2.83, and 3 strikeouts. And this does qualify as a save situation for Hodgson with the tying run at second base. And we'll see if we see any more pinch hitters. Aiden Zahn due up. So if they stick with him, it'll be number 12 against number 12. Brookline trying to finish the job for an upset win against Braintree. But they're in a nightmare situation here. Bases loaded, 1 out. To the plate comes the designated hitter, number 12, Aiden Zahn. First pitch in there for strike 1. And Brookline's got to be happy to see that after how tough this inning has gone so far in terms of throwing strikes. This one lifted over to short, off a bounce. DePaulo juggled it, throws. The throw is wild. Oh, and they're going to tie the ball game, and no one's tracking down the ball. And they're going to try and win it. A throw to the plate. Oh, my God. 3 runs in on the E6, and Braintree wins it. Oh, man, that hurts. That just hurts. It looked like it was going to be a line out. Then it looked like maybe a double play ball. And then it just looked like maybe a tying play. And then it was a losing play. And, man, Joyce, Segley, and DeRoche all in to score on the E6. The final score here in Braintree, the Braintree High Womps 10, the Brookline High Warriors 9. A walk-off 3-run error to end the ball game. So Brookline falls to 4-10 on the season. They officially cannot get a winning season here in the regular season. And they are 1 loss away from no longer being able to get even a 500 season. And there's no sugarcoating this one, folks. This one hurts. Brookline having one of their best offensive games so far in this season, on the cusp of upsetting a top 10 opponent, and then the wheels just came off in the 7th inning. A loss of control on the mound, a loss of control in the field, and it all just goes haywire. Braintree amazingly improves to 8-3 on the season off of that one. And that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video, where you can find a link to our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. You can also find some links related to me that you can find also in the bottom right corner of the screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, my email, and my social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be posting highlights from this game later tonight on this YouTube channel, as well as on Instagram and Facebook. Braintree 10, Brookline 9, from Braintree High School in Braintree, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.